Did you know that in the wild, orcas swim up to 100 miles a day, but in tanks, they're confined to spaces smaller than a football field? This is the tale of a killer whale who captivated the world and exposed a dark truth about our relationship with nature. What if I told you that one of the ocean's fiercest predators became a prisoner, and then a symbol of rebellion? Meet Tilikum, the orca behind Blackfish, a story so shocking it rewrote the rules of captivity. Orcas, or killer whales, aren't whales at all. They're the largest members of the dolphin family, with origins tracing back 11 million years. First documented by ancient mariners in the icy waters of the North Atlantic. They earned their maquilleur name by hunting everything from seals to great white sharks. In ancient ecosystems, orcas were apex predators, shaping coastal food webs with their intelligence and teamwork. Over millennia, they evolved traits like echolocation, nature's sonar, and complex social bonds, living in matriarchal pods that pass knowledge down generations. Tilikum's story begins in 1980, when off Iceland, where he was born into this wild legacy, until everything changed. Humans have long been fascinated by orcas. Indigenous cultures, like the Haida of the Pacific Northwest, revered them as spiritual guardians, carving their images into totem poles. But by the 20th century, that awe turned to exploitation. In 1983, a 2-year-old Tilikum was ripped from his pod in a brutal capture, one of dozens taken from marine parks. At Sealand of the Pacific, then SeaWorld, he was trained to perform flips, splashes, smiles for the crowd. But captivity warped him. Orcas in the wild rarely attack humans. In tanks, stress and confinement bred aggression. Tilikum was linked to 3 human deaths, including trainer Don Branchew in 2010, a tragedy that sparked Blackfish. Human intervention didn't just change Tilikum. It shrank his world, turning a 12-ton ocean titan into a circus act. In the wild, orcas are ecosystem architects. They regulate prey populations, like seals and sea lions, preventing overgrazing of kelp forests that shelter fish. Their pods communicate with unique dialects, hunting in sync, like a military unit. Tilikum's ancestors thrived because of adaptations like their massive brains, among the most complex in the animal kingdom, and dorsal fins that cut through waves. In captivity, that fin famously drooped, a sign of poor health. Orcas aren't just predators. They're vital to ocean balance. Without them, entire food chains could collapse. Orcas face threats beyond captivity. Climate change warms their waters, shrinking prey like salmon. Pollution, plastic, oil, noise disrupts their echolocation. For captive orcas like Tilikum, who died in 2017, the struggle was confinement. Tanks caused infections, stress, and early death. Wild orcas can live to 80, but captives rarely pass 30. Blackfish exposed this, igniting protests and pushing SeaWorld to end its breeding program in 2016. Yet wild populations, like the southern resident orcas off Washington, are down to just 73 individuals, starving as humans overfish their seas. The clash between our entertainment and their survival is stark. Here's a perspective you might not know: losing orcas doesn't just hurt them, it unravels biodiversity. If orcas vanish, prey species explode, crashing ecosystems we rely on for fish, oxygen, climate stability. Tilikum's story isn't just about one whale, it's a warning. Conservation isn't charity, it's survival. Blackfish didn't just free orcas from tanks. It showed us what's at stake if we don't act. Tillicum's legacy lives in us. The future of orcas and our planet hinges on what we do next. You can help support groups like the Orca Conservancy, cut plastic waste, demand sustainable fishing. Every choice counts. So, what will you do to keep these ocean giants swimming free? Hit that like button if you're inspired. Subscribe for more wildlife stories. And let's keep this conversation alive. The wild is calling. Let's answer.